It can be overwhelming when it comes time to buy a shoe to get the right shoe for you. We have shoes now that are specialized in every activity you could possibly do. We have shoes that specialize in every foot problem that you could possibly have. The problem is knowing which shoe is right for you. And today, I'm going to help you figure that out. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Muscle Repair Shop. My name is Butch Phelps, and today we're going to talk about shoes. In a recent article put out by Zero Shoes, Stephen Sashin talked to a podiatrist, Dr. Alissa Kuizinas, who is a podiatrist, and she was discussing what makes a good shoe for you. Now, for many people, they have a special walking shoe, and of course there's a running shoe and a hiking shoe, rock climbing shoe, all kinds of shoes that are out there. But in this particular case, she was talking about a great walking shoe. And the thing that I've learned over the years working with the muscles of the calf and the feet is that the shoes are the most important thing that you buy for your body. Now, many times when people are looking for shoes, they've been led to believe for years that a good shoe has arch supports and heel supports and really thick soles so that it feels like you're just walking on air. And so today I want to try to dispel some of that with the help of Dr. Kuizinas' talk in this article, and I'll put down below in the description a link to her article as well so you can hear it straight from her. But when we're looking at shoes and what's good for your feet, she had three main criteria. One was a wider toe box, two was a flat and very flexible shoe, and three was one that did not have too much support in it, and a more minimalist style shoe. Now, before you kind of go off the deep end and say, oh my God, I could never do that, my feet are killing me, I went to my podiatrist and he said I should never walk barefoot on a hard surface, hopefully today we're going to debunk some of that. So number one, when you're looking at your feet were designed to actually walk barefoot on pretty much any surface out there. I mean, remember, when man first hit the planet, there was no Nike or Reebok or Adidas or any of those people. There were not even podiatrists at that time. They just walked across the ground on their bare feet. And so let's begin first with understanding how the foot works with the calf muscle so that you have a better understanding of what you're looking at every time you walk. Now, I've always said it, and you'll hear this in several of my videos that I've done so far, that the calf stretching is the most important stretch of the human body. Why is that? Well, we're talking about balance, and your balance really is created from the knee down. When you look at the four major calf muscles in the back of your calf, along with those three major shin muscles on the front side of the calf, those muscles help to control the two bones in the lower leg, but more importantly, they control the foot as well. It's going to control the foot in a vertical movement for mobility, and a lateral movement like in supination and pronation for balance, and in a rotational movement so we can turn easily and go right or left. Now, those muscles in the calf area like that, they're literally going to control the bones in the lower part of the leg. You have two bones there, and those two bones have to be able to rotate in the ankle socket so that we can maintain our balance. Now, when you buy shoes that have thick soles and they're hard soles and you've got all these arch supports, you start to limit the functions of those muscles, and that's going to show up in other parts of your body. It's true that if you have foot pain, like arch pain and heel pain, that if you put padding in there, that pain does go away. But what no one seems to say is that while that pain in your foot goes away, it changes your gait. And when it changes your gait, now all of a sudden you may develop knee pain, hip pain, back pain, and believe it or not, even neck and shoulder pain. Because as I watch people walk with shoes that are stiff, their ankles cannot bend beyond 90 degrees. And if you watch anyone walk sitting in a park or the beach or whatever, if they're walking with hard sole shoes, the ankles will not bend, and if the ankles don't bend beyond 90 degrees, they're going to lead with their nose and not their belly button. That leads to neck and shoulder stiffness just in the way they walk. So that's how important shoes are in helping the rest of the body. And like I said, when you have sore arches and sore heels, I realize the padding stops that pain, but you could be contributing to other areas of your body that's going to bother you later on down the road. So let's talk about the three main areas that Dr. Kuizinas talked about. One was a toe box. Now, I happen to have a pair of Zero shoes here, and so what I want you to take a look at is when you look at the sole of this shoe, notice how wide the toe box is. Notice how it's shaped more like the shape of my toes and your toes. If the shoe is pointy, where it's a pointy toe shoe here, no one's foot is shaped like that. And that's going to lead to things like bunions and Morton's neuromas and hammer toes and all kinds of problems with our toes, which later in life is going to affect our balance. So getting this wider toe box allows the toes, when you step down, to spread out, which is going to give you better balance and allows the foot itself to spread out so you can better grip the ground. Secondly, she was talking about a flat shoe that was flexible. Okay? When this is flexible, the importance of this is that in each foot you have 33 joints, 29 muscles, and 26 bones. The shoe has to be able to bend so that we can walk properly. So now I want you to visualize something here. Visualize a leg coming out, the ankle is right into here. If my shoe cannot bend beyond here, notice how little the ankle can move. Yet if my whole shoe can bend, notice how much more my ankle can bend, you see. And so by having that, now all of a sudden, the foot then can become a propulsion for you taking your next step versus the upper thigh on the front part of your thighs. When you watch people walk in thicker sole shoes here, the shoe cannot bend. It'll bend a little bit maybe here, and that's all the movement that is there. So for you to put your leg out in front of you for your next step, you have to lift from the thighs to do that. When the thighs get tight from doing that, it tilts the pelvis forward, which is going to give you low back pain and or neck and shoulder pain. So when the shoe can bend like this as you're walking, you see, now your ankles can bend and you can power off with the muscles in your feet, which is going to help with the arch and the heel pain. Secondly, with it being a flatter shoe here, let me get this out of the way, but with it being a flatter shoe here, what you'll find, and there is a study by Dr. Daniel Lieberman from Harvard, that without this thick sole for the heel, all this padding here, you will not hit heel toe, but you'll hit more with the whole foot because the shoe can bend and the foot can work properly, which will reduce your heel pain. When you walk heel toe, and I know most of you believe, especially if you're older like I am, that heel toe was the right way to walk, and they have proven now that that is not true. We want to walk on the whole foot, so it requires a flexible shoe to be able to walk. Thirdly, what she talked about was shoes that did not have a lot of support and thick soles. When you have a thick sole, I mean, there's several shoes where the soles could be as much as that thick underneath them. Keep in mind, you have 272 nerve endings on the bottom of your feet. The thicker this sole is here, the less your brain will get messages from these nerve endings, which can lead to a fall. So a thinner sole, allowing your brain to get the messages from the nerve endings in your feet, can help you with the changing gradation in the ground. That's important. Number two, by not having the arch support up here, what happens is that allows the arch muscle, which is the plantar fascia. And of course, any of you ever had plantar fasciitis, you know that it's named for this muscle because this muscle is usually tight. By not having that arch support here, that plantar fascia muscle, when you walk, now can flex and release, which absorbs the impact to the ground, which protects your knees. Your knees were never designed to do that. That's why you have an arch muscle in your foot. And I know you're probably saying to yourself, this is insane. I've heard the opposite my entire life. I'm telling you, when you go to shoes that are flexible, and there's many different brands, I prefer the Zero shoes here. When you go to a shoe like this, then what happens is that the foot then can properly work. Now, I am an affiliate with Zero shoes, so if you order a Zero shoes, and I put the link in my description as well for that, that's fine, and I'll get a small commission for it. But the more important thing here is to understand that this shoe is going to improve the muscles in your feet and in your calves, and is going to help give you a better gait and a better body to walk around in. It's going to stop a lot of the aches and pains that you dealt with. Now, having said that, and Dr. Kuizinas said the same thing, don't go from a really thick, hard shoe to a shoe like this overnight and think you're not going to have a problem. It's like going to the gym for the first time. You're 55 years old. You haven't lifted a weight since you were 18 years old, and you think you're going to go back and do what you did at 18 and not be sore? Forget about it. That's not going to happen. The point is, take your time. Practice walking barefoot around your house a little bits at a time. And get your feet acclimated to being able to work again the muscles in your feet so that you can control your balance and control your gait. And then as you start to buy shoes that are more flexible, take those shoes, wear them for short walks around, and as you build up the getting used to wearing those shoes, now you can start to wear them all the time. I wear these kind of shoes all the time. I have multiple pairs of them, different colors that I can go with different outfits because I just like to match up those outfits. But the point is that when you keep your muscles in your feet and your calves healthier, the balance in your body, the stamina in your body becomes so much better, and more importantly, you get your posture back into the right place and you stop a lot of the chronic aches and pains. If you enjoyed listening to this, please subscribe down below, ring the bell, and share this with your friends. And for now, see ya.